Welcome to the Labyrinth. I'm your host, Pratham Padav. My guest today is Anna Maria D'Souza. She has a teaching career of more than 50 years, both as a school teacher and a tuition teacher. In 2002, she won the Best Teacher of the District award. And since this video will be uploaded on Teachers' Day, I want to extend my gratitude to all the teachers, especially the good ones. If you find this podcast useful, do like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I want to know what you think about this podcast. And without any further ado, let's begin. Let's go. So, Anna Maria ma'am, welcome to the Labyrinth. So, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Okay. So,
First of all, I thank you, Pratham, for inviting me for this podcast of yours. I'm really, it's a great pleasure of me just to interviewed by my former student of mine. Thank you very much.
thank you, ma'am. It's a privilege for me also to talk to my old teacher. I want to start the conversation by asking, when did you begin your teaching career?
Almost 52 years back. It was in 1971. Just after my BSc and B.Ed, I started teaching and I was appointed to a school. It was a new school then, and I was the first teacher. The headmistress and myself were the two teachers, and I have vivid memories of that school.
Okay. What was the name of the school?
The name is Nitya Samata High School, Arkula, near Farangipet. It was run by Sisters of St. Charles Borromeo of Bangalore. That area had in school, so the priest asked for the sisters to come and start a new school. And students from Benjan Padu, Arkula, and all the people walking 3 or 4 miles away just to come to gain the education.
Okay. And when this school began, it had only very few teachers, one or two teachers.
Yes,
How did you manage?
yes. Actually, the first year, one class started, and we had only two teachers, headmistress and myself. My subjects were maths and science, but I managed half of the syllabus, and headmistress took another half. So Hindi I had to teach, the biology, and Kannada. So I took the courage and took a challenge, and the class was very close to us. We had the courage because we had confidence and a new energy, youthful energy.
Okay. So that was the first school that you taught in.
Yes.
Then, which was the second school that you taught in?
I sought for a transfer when my house was shifted to Mangalore. So I got a post in Capitania School. When my maths teacher retired, I was given a post of that teacher. So I took up in 1985. First school I worked for 14 years, and then I came to the second school. My experience here were quite different. First, I taught a co-ed school, boys and girls, and here were only girls, and were simple children, but a huge opportunity.
Okay. So you taught in many schools in the past few decades.
Yes.
How many years has it been since you started teaching?
Which school you mean? Yeah. First school I taught 14 years, and the next school was 20 years. So I retired from that school after 20 years. It was in 2005 I retired.
Okay. And then when did you start giving tuition services?
Yes, that's a story. Actually, I didn't intend to have a tuition. It was started with the neighbor's request. So they came to me and asked for a help. First, I didn't want to start because I was going early to school at 8 o'clock and being with my students. And evening, I was making them to wait the backward students and teaching them. But here I couldn't get time with the children were small housework. So, but later on I took up with the intention to help the students. My sole intention was to help the little slow learners. So even now, my intention remains the same after 5 decades.
Okay. So it's been 50 years.
Yeah, it has been a 52 starting.
Okay. Okay. How are students now compared to when you just started teaching?
Okay, it was 1970 and then it's a 50 years plus. So at the outset, it looks very different, but the core nature of the students remains the same, I feel. At back in 1970s, students were coming to school, they had to go home, they had to do the work, help their parents, and come back again. Same thing in the evening, and it is continued. What they grasped in the class, also some insights of life, they retain for life. But now there is a social media, technology has developed, and hence students are more distracted with these opportunities, and their lifestyle has become easy compared to the earlier. Their lifestyle was difficult. Now it has become very easy, and therefore they are little distracted and they have more opportunities. It is now I have to change my way of teaching, modify my approaches, and deal with them.
Okay. So now, because young students don't have to do much of the housework, they don't have to walk many kilometers for school. They have all the latest gadgets and social media. Uh, have they become more lazy and distracted?
Okay, they have become more lazy, yes, in a way, and they are more attracted to the media, more attracted. Instead of doing work, hard work, they don't want to think. They want easy from Google, easy things. They want to understand, but they copy down doing the work. That they have learned now, and in a way, lazy. They don't want to think, no hard work. Another point is they have now the family's size has reduced. The one child or two, the parents love them very much. They don't give them the work. That's the main problem. They don't involve them in the work because they want them to study. Easy life. Life has become very easy.
So, in 2002, you won the Best Teacher of the District award. How did you feel when you received this award?
I was really it is surprised because usually I heard when they want to give an award, get an award, they want to apply and show their work and so on. I did nothing. I never influenced anybody. Neither I worked for it nor I showed my work. But the department recognized my work. That's the great thing. I have to appreciate their work of recognizing my work. I don't know how they came through the maybe the management. I do not know the way, but I was happy that they have recognized my work. That's all I'm happy.
Okay. So nowadays, a lot of young people get into lucrative jobs. They want to make good money, good status. They become chartered accountants, software engineers. Should young people also pursue a career in teaching?
Olden days, that was the teachers was the only job available. Now there are, of course, what you say is true. The this profession is an occasion. I came to this as an occasion because in my mind there was a have to be a teacher like my teacher. So that made me to think. And some of the points when they pointed out in me, so you can be a teacher. They gave me some responsibilities where I had to write on the board. So you can become a teacher. That what my teacher said. That remained and worked for it. So now the youngsters of today, if they are vocation, if they are calling, they have to consider it very seriously. One, because I feel teaching profession is a very sacred, noble profession. We can bring a huge difference in the lives of the people. And a teacher expresses word that has more weightage, more power. Whatever we say, they take into heart and mind. It's a fertile soil. Students' mind and heart, fertile soil. Whatever we plant a seed today, and a good seed that will grow into a huge tree. Not only that, it will continue to his family, to the neighborhood, to the society. So, isn't it the world be a nice place to live in? This is, I feel, a teacher's a noble work. And when a teacher encourages the child, the student pushes off all the limits and tries to do more, satisfy the teacher higher than what he can really achieve. And the teacher's words are more powerful, I feel, because in the young age, a teacher is a god. Whatever she says positive, it will grow. It's also true when we say negative, it affects them, hurts them. Just give an example. A boy was tall. I just make a remark some years back. You are a good player, football player, isn't it? And the boy's face became small and said, yes, teacher, but my interest was stopped by one incident. When I was in sixth or seventh, I went to he was tall boy, very thin and tall, went to the playground and started to play football. The teacher on the ground remarked, are you playing football or a kabaddi? That sentence hurt my feelings. After that, I never stepped to the playground. We can make a life or break a life.
Okay, so that teacher's negative comments left a trauma on that child. Okay,
And
so
positive will make something good. So I'll just remember one or two incidents to tell you. There was one student of a famous school in Mangalore, and the father mother were working in BSNL both. They had only child, and that is son. The mother came, teacher, I finished my BSc, and in our family, all are well learned. We are just watching this boy. What is the grade and what is he studying? So we have a great intention about him to study higher. But this boy doesn't wake up morning. A father holds up his legs and said, "Say, get up, son, get up, son." He doesn't study. I listened to all her as she talked. A tear rolled down from her eye. I said, the boy is very good. I have no problem with the boy. He's clever. No, they were not satisfied. They said, he can still do better. Okay, after that, the parent left a step forward. I held the hands boy and said, see, you saw a tear from your mother's eye. Never you make that. Never allow or make your mother to shed one tear from your eye. If you have to get the blessing from your mother, I said. That was the word I said. The boy had changed his lifestyle. This I came to know, the parents came to tell me after some time. From that day onwards, he gets up, he studies well. And to the surprise, he got 100 in maths and 100 in science in 10th standard, and the only boy who got 100 in both the subjects. There were many cleverer than him, but 99, 98, he was the boy, got 100 in both. So I don't say about only about the marks. That will make a change in his life to respect his mother. Whenever he pains or hurts, whenever he gets married, so that feeling will be there in his heart, and that will continue. This is the good seed. I don't say I've done great thing, but a seed put into his heart will have a different, the positive approach towards life.
so it's not just the marks in exam. Students also need good values.
Sure, they have to grow with values. And another thing, teacher also has to have cultivated the good words. Good words have power. The words have power. It can build a life or destroy a life. So the words we have to be careful. What I advise to the teachers is a word uttered gone. But if it is said in well way, a beautiful way, it can change a life, inspire a nation, and will have a better place to live in. But if you spit the poisonous toxin that will break the heart instead of mending the broken heart, it will break the heart, they break the peace of the mind. And therefore, we have to be careful. I feel we have to be careful and learn the child situation. Another point is children are very sensitive these days. What I expressed is, what I felt is an experience. Children are very sensitive. They can't bear the hardships. A word is enough for them to hurt.
Then, how do you deal with mischievous students?
To tell you frankly, I like them very much. So, you know why? In the whole day of class, if something mischief doesn't happen, they we want a change. And the main thing what I learned from the mischievous student is they want to have some recognition. They want to have some importance. And therefore, they want to be important in the class. And they have some, okay, making some, they can't sit for 45 minutes. So make some noise. So I just make them, this is my trick, involve them, and I see who has made the noise. I note it. Okay, you are a good mimicry player. 5 minutes I give you at the end of the class. You have to perform in front of the class. And he performs. First he may hesitate and performs. That is the talent he has. He wants to show some importance. I involve them, I watch them. Some their artwork, they do the artwork and doing. When the class is going on, they do the artwork. And then I involve them. Here afterwards, every class you have to do. These were all the figures they made, the science figures, and involve them. Make and I'll put it on the board. I put a very good remark. I always try to encourage with the marks. You must be knowing. A good, very good, well done, and excellent is my best remark. So I give them, you must be remembering. So with they encourage them with a good remark. And they feel very happy to see their books.
Okay. So, more than 50 years of teaching, and this year you're 75. How do you maintain your health as you get older?
Okay. I feel and I believe keeping the mind engaged is keeping healthy. We have, suppose we have committed to one work, say my work is teaching. I tell my mind, you have to get up early. So because I have early morning one class, so I get up at 4:30. I've committed to it, I have to do it. So, and get going. So after that class also, I have to do the other work of giving tests, corrections, and get ready for the next class. Even after 52 years of my teaching experience, every class I prepare and do. I will deal with what I have to do today. What examples I'll give. I try to make the concept clear with the example first and then you process. Don't just define it because you know how boring the physics and the chemistry is. So therefore, if we say only the definitions, children can't remember. These are dry things. So I give examples. From the example, derive definitions and then make the answers easy. Keywords. I'll give them the keywords. And then remember this word. In sentence, what I do? Just word express, 3 words. Then make the sentences. So they will remember. Otherwise, I think I don't encourage.
I remember, ma'am,
Uh,
15 years ago when I was your tuition teacher, you would give us shortcut methods.
uh,
You would make us do, like, if there were long answers, you would give us shortcuts.
correct.
There was one question: what is a critical size?
Uh,
Critical size is minimum size required to sustain a fission chain reaction or something.
oh, yeah, yeah.
You made that question so interesting that many of us still remember it.
Yeah, yes, very good. Now also I use the techniques and mnemonics. For example, I have to teach them what is oxidation and what is reduction. So I give them the word oil rig. There no. Oil is for oxidation, is loss of electrons. And reduction is gain of electrons. One. Secondly, it may be look simple to you. I was walking in Hampankatta in front of the Rupa Hotel. A student from the other side crossed the road and came to me, and she never wished me and said, Teacher, Gundana Barake, Kugite Katte, she told me. So I couldn't remember what I said many years back. So I said, I was teaching the Kannada medium students. Gundana means Gunakara. Barake means Bhagakara. Kugite means Kudisu. And Katte means Kalai. So that sentence they remember, then they apply. Isn't it that easy? And nowadays they have to study the metals, the reactions. The higher the reactivity, the metal will displace the lower reactivity. So there are so many metals to be remembered. Who is more reactive? People we can remember, but the metals how to remember. So I give them a sentence. Please stop calling me a cute zebra. Please stop calling me a cute zebra. Please comes for potassium. Stop means sodium. Calling me is calcium. Me as magnesium. A cute is for carbon. Zebra is zinc. So then which comes up is a see these are 5 or 6 metals. Still there are 16 metals. That is half of the sentence. Okay, it is zebra. I truly like her. Calling me a um, this is the powerful, super powerful giraffe. I means iron. So like that, I ask them. Their sentence they remember very well. Then they have to recall and apply this knowledge to the reaction, whether the reaction will happen or no. Down element cannot replace upper one. Above one, which can replace the up, down one. So that is easy to remember. When there is difficult topic, I give them.
Okay, so you use all these tactics to make studies more interesting, more
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. One more I remember in maths, no, that is more useful to them. Trigonometry and Pythagoras theorem. The numbers end with 5. Can you tell me the square of 25? 25 into 25?
25 into 20.
Yeah, that is 625. They know mostly. 35 without multiplication, without tables, they can say 35. 5, it ends with 5. 25. What is the previous number? 3. Just multiply with one more. 4 3s are 12. So 12 25. Answer. Suppose 85. The last number ending is 5. What's it ending? 25. The previous number is 8. One more than 8. 9. 9 8s are 72. 72 and 25. Now they are thorough with that. So when they go for any 300 MCQs of NEET exam, all that, some calculation comes, they can do it very fast. They are thorough with it. For trigonometry and Pythagoras, they are very useful shortcuts. Wherever possible, I give them, but everything I cannot give, and therefore I just stress on the concept, making them clear, and then try to remember them. I discourage by hearting.
Okay. Nowadays, students have a lot of activities, lot of distractions, and as a result, lot of stress. How should students deal with stress?
Okay, now I mean your exam stress. See, exam stress or any other stress. Nowadays, the children are very sensitive. I told they can't bear any hardship. A 1 mark less they get, they hear that they are failed, finish. They'll end their life. This is what I tell them. And another point I would like to tell them, my maths class, will be a combination of maths and moral science. I'll tell them a part of it. See, one step you fail, it's not end of life. There are many steps. I tell them always Abdul Kalam. He wanted to be a aeronautic engineer. He went for an interview and there was a breakup and the previous student got the seat and he was about to go, he lost. He was very much desperate. He said he walked 1 kilometer or two. Till then his mind to be cool. But he got a person, he saw him and said, child, what has happened to you? Because his face was changed. What has happened? And he told him, this is what happened. I was about to get a seat. I wanted, but I missed. He kept his hand on his head and said, go. Whatever is happening for your good, whatever has happened is good, whatever will happen for your good. You have seen his talks, in his talks, he repeats, dream dreams, dream dreams. And he talks about more about the last made student. So dream dreams. So I think whatever happens is for our good. So the stress they do not, especially exam stress, I'll deal with because I get students of exam stress. If they prepare well, they won't have this. If they open their books one day before, they have any stress. They're desperate. They'll forget. The paper looks lengthy. They become nervous. All these reasons come only when they're not prepared. I see that they are prepared well. Every day I give them work. I tell them if you go for swimming class, haven't you practice? Have you go for a dancing class, football? Every day you use. What about math? Practice. So they want practice. If I say practice, they won't do. I'll give particular high sum, do this and show me tomorrow.
Yeah, nobody starts swimming one day before the swimming competition.
Yeah, sure. I tell the same example. Directly can't go for a competition, right? Don't you practice? Same practice.
So, in the past few years, we've seen there was the pandemic, and many people were giving online classes. And then that got over. Then again, students have started going back to school, college. This whole transition happened. How was your experience?
Yeah, listen, this was all surprising and that was a change which we never thought. And it was in March 25th, a mega bund it was. I remember. I had taken students for tuition because my tuition would start in April. I had taken so many students. So I said I cannot teach this year because without looking at the student, I cannot do that. But my son encouraged me. He said, do you know to teach? He said, yes. Rest I'll see, don't worry, you teach. 1 month he was at home, he gave me a good practice of using the systems and teaching and looking at the videos. With that, I got an option to see the video and teach. The students were grasping. They were very good. I used to ask them to on the camera. So they were very nice. Second year also went on. The first year they cancelled the exam. Second year there was exam. They did well. But after that, those students who lost 8th standard and 9th standard, they came directly to 10th standard last year. That was hectic. They didn't know basics of maths, especially. Other subject they could have made, but not maths. I found very difficult to teach them. One. Secondly, I felt very sad for the students. They lost the base of maths. That was very difficult. But after this year, they are coming on the track. They are cooperating. They lost the habit of working on and mobile. Two things that affected them. Because the parents had to give them the mobile, they gave and they didn't know the use it judiciously. So it was a really painful thing.
Okay. So, because of that, they've lost the habit of writing, and handwriting has also gone.
Yes.
Okay. So 75 years old. Any plans to retire or do you want to work?
If my, see, I've reduced the students now because what I can, I'll do. What I cannot, I don't want to be a bad teacher at last. So what I'm able, what to do. So at present, I can do it. The rest left in the hands of God. We can't say anything tomorrow. If my health permits me, I'll continue. But that I can't say now. I'll decide at the end of the year.
Okay, so finally, for all the old students who are watching this, for all your old students who are now 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, who
They have retired
yeah,
from their job now.
they are going to watch this conversation and they'll feel very nostalgic looking at these chairs, this blackboard. What is your message to them?
It's, I'd say, it's have been a joy for me to think of the old students. They are very affectionate. When they come to meet me, when they pass by me in front of my house, they peep in and they say, "Ma'am, don't you remember us? We got 99 in maths." Yes, the other day one boy came. Said, "Can't you remember? They are grown up beard and I can't recognize them, but still they recall the place. When I come sit in my house. No, no, we'll go to the tuition class." They say, "We'll go to the tuition class and enjoy." They love this place. One. So my advice to the students is I have to give a message to them. They have been very good and I like to teach them. It is not I taught them, but I have learned many things from them. They have been very good and they are doing very well in their life. That's my joy. When I hear they are somewhere in a good place, I'm really happy to hear them. So I tell my students, dear students, brighten the corner wherever you are and then be good. So that's my message to them. And I have a sweet and powerful memory of all the students. The first students of mine, you said 50 years, so they have planned for a meet in January 30th, and that will be a memorable. And they are in hype. The first batch of students, they have retired now. One student was working in Reserve Bank in manager section. It has been 2 3 years since he retired. One student in US, she is doing real estate agency. She is doing very well, and then she has made this collection of students. From there, she's cooperated all right. One who is on Australia, one who is in Mumbai, one is in Bangalore. They are all coming and meeting just to recall the sweet memories. One who have been priest. Even I remember who was a headmaster that went.
When I was in Aloysius High School, I think it was Gilbert Elder.
He was my student, my fourth batch student. And the first batch was Father Basil Vass. He have been preacher. He was my first student. Children were very intelligent. They have grown up with intelligence. The high post. So though from rural area, they have been doing well now.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for coming on the Labyrinth. It was an honor talking to you.
See, Pratham, I thank you very much. I'm happy to see your work because in spite of your usual job, you are going out of the way. And I watched your few podcasts and you keep, and this will encourage people. So I think keep going and keep doing your work. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.